For today's episode, we have a cryptic tweet by a Steelers receiver not named Deontay Johnson. Also, I want to discuss some more things about this Nick Kwiatkoski signing. Big Deke news. The Steelers receiver with the cryptic tweet I was referring to was actually done by Anthony Miller. Yesterday he tweeted out, "Thank you, Pittsburgh," with a heart emoji. Most people are assuming this is his goodbye tweet and he's on the verge of being cut. But my question is, could it just mean he's grateful for the city of Pittsburgh? Maybe these last 2 years have been awesome for him. Or maybe yesterday he had a really fun day downtown and just wanted to give thanks for the hospitality. Either way, we'll find out sooner rather than later if it does mean he's going to be released. It's a bummer because of Miller's talent. I would have liked to see him compete in training camp and in the preseason. But at the same time, we are good with our receiver depth. You think we got a top 3 solidified, Calvin Austin at 4, and then we got a bunch of competent dudes competing for wide receiver 5 and wide receiver 6. But you guys let me know what you think the tweet means. What's your investigative tendencies telling you? Or what's your big prediction? Is Miller as good as gone, or is it still Miller time in the Steel City? But now transitioning to the final topic, I have some more thoughts on this Nick Kwiatkoski signing. You guys heard me yesterday talk about the comparisons to Robert Spillane. I essentially think this Kwiatkoski signing is a Robert Spillane replacement move for the Steelers. But to piggyback off that, we'll say this. I'd take Spillane over Kwiatkoski at this stage of the game. I feel like there's a reason Spillane's getting paid like $3.5 million per year to go out there and play in Vegas, whereas Kwiatkoski, he's definitely going to be on the vet min here in Pittsburgh. Now, Kwiatkoski had his payday with the Raiders going back to 2020. But now he's a little bit older, whereas Spillane is a little bit younger and has just been more proven over these last couple years. He's just flat outright had better seasons. And we got to see him operate here in Pittsburgh. But that's the thing. I feel like we got the newer guy and people are going to be a little bit more excited because Kwiatkoski is probably the more bigger name. Was actually drafted when he came into the league. Also has these ties to the Pittsburgh area, going to Bethel Park. Also went to West Virginia. So yeah, I would take Spillane over Kwiatkoski, but that doesn't take away from this still being a quality move for the Steelers at this stage of the game. But the second aspect of this move I didn't really talk about yesterday was the absolute overhaul of this linebacking core from 2023 till now. This is a tweet by Alex Kozora that I saw. You look at the linebacker room last year. It was Miles Jack, Devin Bush, Spillane, Mark Robinson, and Marcus Allen. Now we got Cole Holcomb, Landon Roberts, Nick Kwiatkoski, Tanner Muse, and Mark Robinson. It says total turnover by Omar Khan. Yeah, the only guy that was constant here is Mark Robinson. That leads into my question to you guys. Which linebacking group do you feel like you were more confident in or excited about heading into each respective season? And don't play the result. Take yourself back into the 2022 offseason versus now. To be honest with you, I feel like I'd actually go with last year because of Miles Jack. Like, proven commodity, proven name, borderline Pro Bowl type of player. Was with Jacksonville for his whole career, so it's like, oh, take him out of that situation, put him in Pittsburgh, he's going to absolutely flourish, which he did. He had a pretty good season. It's just he got banged up in the last month and left a little bit more to be desired. Then you had Devin Bush, who, yeah, was the biggest question mark, but still had the upside. We were hoping he would turn it around. But then if he didn't, you had that staple guy in Robert Spillane. And then Mark Robinson started to show us some stuff in preseason to get us excited. But this year, I will say this. I was completely fine with the overhaul. I like all the guys that we brought in and am excited. I feel like there might be a little less upside because we don't have as big of a name as Miles Jack on this roster. But at the same time, all these dudes fit what we're trying to do in terms of physicality, identity, and just playing bully Steeler old school football. But the thing we could still be missing is that element of coverage. But that got me thinking even more. Is that guy already on the roster for us? Is that a little bit more athletic guy, a little bit better in coverage guy already here? And Keanu Neal, because you think he's a safety who could play up in the box, actually played exclusively linebacker in his one season with the Cowboys. So I wonder if that's why the Steelers aren't showing that much urgency, at least right now, in bringing in that coverage linebacker. They feel confident in Keanu Neal. He could play the dime backer for them in passing situations. You could throw him out there too in the box. So yeah, those are just a couple additional thoughts though I had about this Nick Kwiatkoski signing. A couple different angles, a couple different things that just popped up in my mind after I recorded yesterday's vid. So let me know your thoughts about all the things discussed. What do you think happens with Anthony Miller? If there's anything else you think I'm missing with this Nick Kwiatkoski signing, let me know down in the comments. But I hope you guys enjoyed this edition of Big Deke News on a Tuesday. Stay chilling and peace.